Hello guys, this is Sar. Welcome back to the second part of the beginner guide for Castle Story. We turn off the crickets this time. Got rid of that annoyance. Actually all other sound as well. In this tutorial, so to say, we're going to go through actually multiple builds. Not advanced builds per se, but some of the things that people have been wondering about on the forums that isn't covered by the first video I did, which was more controls and the basics of the game. This time we're going to go through such things as making multiple floors. We're going to do a bridge, or quote-unquote bridge. It's not really a bridge, but it's bridge function, I guess. And tunnel, how that works, and a couple of other functions or other, let's have we say, bug workarounds and useful features. So let's get started. There was a couple of things that I mentioned last time but didn't really demonstrate. For the stockpiles, this setup that you can see here is something that works very well when it comes to people not getting stuck, or the bricktrons not getting stuck between the piles. Basically, just accidental placement of a stairs there. Basically, they get stuck because they're pretty fat, as you can see, and when they try to navigate between narrow walkways between these guys here, or if you have them very close, they try to pass each other, and their pathing isn't very good, so they get stuck. Basically, they jam up. This setup I've used here, I haven't really had any significant collisions here or any problems with it. Occasionally they can stop for a few seconds, and then they figure out where to go, and then they find a way. So if you build it like this, just basically even the same space in between the aisles as the actual aisle, that works. So that's my pro tip for today. Another thing you might not have known about these stockpile things here is that if you click them, you actually get some options for them. Just regular left click, and you can set them to either stop accepting wood or stop accepting stone, or actually delete them altogether. That's also very useful if you don't want all your wood taking up all the spaces, or all the stone taking up all the spaces, or if you want to have one stockpile of wood in this area and, for example, all the stone up in this area. That brings me over to another feature that I was a little bit, what should we say, I didn't know it that well in the previous tutorial. Namely, when you are supposed to log or chop down an area, you can place this marker here, right? And I was wondering, it says that you can hold left click and drag an area for them to, or how big of a radius of the area you want to be chopped down. Not the case, at least not currently, and I was only in this menu here where I can see who is assigned to the group. Right click there, he's in that group. What you can do, however, is if you click this sword icon up here while you are on this task, on this job here in the queue, you actually get some options up here where you can see how many trees are within that radius. It's 34 now that this covers. Selection radius is 40. So I can increase that radius or I can decrease that radius. And that's how you decide how big of an area that will be chopped down and how big of an area they will work within in terms of gathering logs and such. The same is true for mining. As you can see, I made a small mining selection here now because the one I was working on before was huge. So I told them to dig down here just so I could get a stairs up to the top here. If I go in here in the additional settings for the sword icon up here, I can see how many total blocks this covers, 26, how many mineable blocks, 22, remaining blocks, 22. That's how far they've gotten. I can also increase or decrease the depth that they are supposed to be mining, as you can see. Very useful. Alright, over to something else, pathing, and we were talking about pathing in between here, how they sometimes get stuck, so that's one reason that it's too narrow basically. That will also happen here in my stairs here. It's only one wide, which is generally a very bad idea. So in order to avoid any such problems, do like this instead. Make it too wide. Otherwise, they're not that smart pathing wise yet. So always make every transport way 2 wide, 2 blocks wide. That way you will avoid almost all pathing problems. When you do have pathing problems, like you can see, these guys over here are now stuck, not doing anything. It could be, they can, basically sometimes a group will get stuck somewhere not doing anything. Usually the reason why is because one of them has a job somewhere and he can't get there, and he's sort of blocking the others, even though there really is room, but he's generally just blocking everyone else. So what you want to do is, well, I can't really reproduce it right now, but basically just select all of them and nudge them around a bit. If they have a job, they will go back to it again afterwards. Or have a look on the map, see if you've accidentally placed, for instance, if I were to do this, let's have a look. If I were trying to build something up here, and I were like clicking around, messing about, and accidentally put that one there, then the people in this work group would probably get stuck, because over here I have a blueprint of something that needs to be built, but no one can get there. Those kind of things are the ones that's causing all those problems, at least 90% of them. See here? Now we have a group of people here just standing there doing nothing. As we said in the previous tutorial, you can remove these blocks, or not blocks, but the phantom blocks or blueprints by shift right clicking. Oh, shift get a yellow one. In the same way, if I want to remove something I've already built, I just pick that same block, go here, shift right click. Now someone will come along here and remove it for me. Before we move on to the fun stuff, I would like to address a small bug that is here in the prototype, and if I didn't or forgot to mention it, this is recorded in the prototype pre-alpha version of the game, so many of these things by the time you watch the video will probably not be present as a bug or as a feature or whatever anymore. There are changes probably by the time when the majority of people watch this video. Currently, if you experience that you can't open the system menu, or you can't save basically because you can't open this menu, that is caused by hitting the resume game option when you're in the system menu. So if you do that, afterwards you won't be able to open the system menu again. Instead of doing that, just hit escape and you will be able to save. Coincidentally, that's what happened in my world, which is also the reason why I probably won't be doing a let's play of this until that bug is fixed. A fun bug that is currently in the game is that if you save the game and then load it again, you will start with twice as many bricktrons. Actually not twice as many, but 5 new ones. You can do that repeatedly, which is how I got all of mine, basically. I did that in the very beginning of the game. The way you would normally do that, I'm not going to do a whole multiple minutes explanation of this, but basically the way you would normally get more bricktrons, spawns more, is that when you're mining you will pick up these crystals. What you do is you build barrels nearby where you're mining. On their way back from mining they will drop off the crystals before they go and deliver the stone. What you do afterwards is that you select one of your bricktrons, you tell them to go pick up the barrel, then you walk all the way over to here, to the big crystal in the middle of the map. Here our friend comes with the barrel. Now what you want to do is you want to tell him to put down the barrel, and you can do that by shift and right clicking. Oh, actually what happened there? Yeah, he just spawned a new one. That's just from carrying the barrel nearby this stone here. Contrary to popular belief on the forums, it doesn't have to be night for this to happen. You can do that whenever. There, you can place it. Shift and right click to place those barrels, and now you have more. Coincidentally, you can also see here, when you click on a barrel, you can see if it's full or not. See, this one is now 0%. It has no crystals in it. Alright, over to the woodworks. This is everything to do with floors, multiple floors, perhaps bridges in the future. Not at the moment, it doesn't work at least. or somehow a little bit it works. The thing, you need vertical logs. The thing you can do with vertical logs is you can place horizontal logs on top of them, like this, or on the side of them, like this. That's not actually on the side of them. It can be a little bit tricky to place sometimes. Angle-wise. It's a better angle. And there you go. So you're going to place one there. That one will be pretty low towards the ground though, so we can't see it that well. We can place one here too. And maybe one on top of here. Okay, so that rose the ground, as you can see. Anyways, you can place them like this. And our delivery was made. Now, I cannot place it on the side here, nor on the other side there. I cannot place it down here. I can place it on the side here, but I cannot place another one. That's how it works. So basically you can't extend it at all. However, we can place one over here, and then we have to wait for a second till they build it for us. Place another one on top here, and now, camera, we can place one in between. So as long as it's bound to two sides, as long as it's supported like this, you can make longer beams. As you can see here, I've been experimenting a little bit of the distances that you need. In order to place these planks on top, there needs to be a gap of 2 in between the bottom beams, so to say. It doesn't have to be any bottom beams, you can attach these, or the bottom pillars, I mean. The top beams though, going like this, they need to have a space of 2 in between them, like this. You can also measure it with any box. And you can have as much as 4 spaces. You can also measure that with these boxes. 4 spaces, 1, 2, can fit here in between. That's how long you can have them, which means a total of 6 blocks. If I were to put, or try to put some planks in between here, it wouldn't work. I can't place them, it's too long. So how can you use that in a building? Well, again here we've been playing around with a building. As you can see, I've been picking it apart a bit at the back side there because of experimenting. But what we can do is I've placed a long beam here now. This is as far as it can go. This one I have placed on top of the walls. In order to do that, I had to place some support beams here. Otherwise it would be too long. Of course, had I placed the beams inside here, that would also work, because that would shorten it down by 2 blocks. So let's do that. The one thing to remember when we do that is that we're going to put planks in between this beam and a new beam that we're going to have here, and it needs to be a space of 2 in between them. So 1, 2, easier to see from this angle, 1, 2, put it here on the third. Right, and we put an identical one on the other side, right here. Then we place the horizontal ones on top, and one in the middle. Now at first glance when you place the planks it looks like this will be too far of a distance, but the thing is you put them between these beams here. It can be a bit hard to put it correctly the first time, but let's start with that one. That looks correct. Then we can add to it like this, because it's supported all the way over. There we go. You can see when they're laying it out now that they actually increase the size a bit as opposed to what it seems like it would take. So it actually overlaps the the girder here in the middle. Now what we can do if we want a bigger floor is we extend it. For example, like that. There we go. And that should make our planks fit perfectly in between here. And it does. As you can see now, when they're placing it now, you're actually getting a complete floor in the middle here. It's no longer any logs showing, at least not in the middle there isn't. Now we're just about completing the top part here, finishing up. And that's how you do it. That's how you create the second floor. One thing to keep in mind if you're going to make multiple floors is that while it looks like you can place these guys here on planks some places, like here for instance, you can't then go ahead and put other beams on top of it, the vertical ones. No, the horizontal ones, I mean. You cannot put horizontal beams on top of vertical ones that are placed on planks. This plays it a little better when you try to place it here, for instance. You can see it has no support, so you have to plan your building so that you can place it either outside here or on top of these. Another thing I see on the forums that people are curious about is tunnels. It seems that tunnels is one thing that is problematic. So it's really quite simple. I'm not sure what the problem is. You go to the mining, you choose tunnel, you click somewhere. That actually went wrong. Let's try it again. How about there? Tunnel there. Okay, we placed it correctly. And I made a ton of them. I'm going to remove those. Just that one. Remove it over here. That is the right one. That is the wrong one. Remove it over there. You can remove that too. And we're left with this one. Alright, so this is the opening to your tunnel. You can see I built it up a little bit. That's because before I lost my save game, I had tried out some tunneling here before. But what you can see here, what is the actual tunneling part is these indicators on the back here. When you click them, you extend the tunnel. So that is how you increase it. If I wanted to make it wider, I would do this. Now it's wider. So I just keep going like this until I reach the other end of where I want to go, or just make a room inside basically. You can also add more tunnels inside once you've completed this and make a whole tunnel network inside there. Let's assign some people to dig. And they will start attacking it from that angle. Of course you can zoom around in here as well. You can see it from the other side, you can see it from the outside. You can even click it from here and extend it, see where it's going to end up. So I want mine to come out here. Let's give that a go. It's going to take a while since it's 3 wide, but that's just more fun. Have a big tunnel. There we go, that's where it will end up. Let's wait a bit till they finish digging and see where it ends up. Actually, let's see without having that one selected. At the moment you can see they only have a 2 wide one. Okay, let's let them dig for a bit. As you can see here, one of our guys started from the other side because since he has access to it, he can drop down from here. The tunnel comes out just about here. He can't get up though, but he should be free in a little while when the other guys come out from the inside. And there we go, it seems like they've broken through. Let's see if we can free our friend here. And he's loose. Alright. Now, when they're finished with this, of course I had another purpose with this. I want to bridge over here. We're going to get to that in a second. There isn't actually any real bridges. You can't do bridges the way that we did these over here unless you have support. Like this would, typically you would think this is how you do a bridge. You can't do that at the moment, not that I know of anyway. If anyone finds out how again, I would really love to know it, so please leave a comment if you do, and when you do. For now though, the only thing you can do is sort of make like stairs in like a pyramid shape. Since we can't place stairs or any blocks really on the outside, like in loose air, we have to build it from the inside. So what we're going to do, we're going to use these. We can use normal blocks or we can use these, what are they called? Arch. So we're going to do this. We can use either these or the double blocks. Okay. Now we need stairs on the inside. Like that. Since arches and double bricks are too long, we can actually, if you turn them around here, we can place them outside, so we extend the tunnel. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We do this, this, and this. And place some more stairs on the inside. And that's basically how we're going to do it the whole way around. Unfortunately, I accidentally placed a block here, or a log here, so now everyone is headed there, and we got one of them stuck in there. So here comes the other part of the tunnel. They can't get through here now, so we need to do another little tunnel project. And this is actually quite practical as well. You can click, let's see, here. If I've done it correctly. Let's try that again. Third time's the charm. No, almost. Okay, I think I know what we need to do here. We need to remove this block there. These dirt blocks you can remove like this. That makes the whole thing a whole lot simpler. Let's wait for that. Okay, that's taking too long, so we can just put a singular one for now instead of trying to do all in one project, and expand it like this, and then just expand it 3 times this way instead. Ugh. One of these days we're gonna get it. Okay, I decided to do a single one instead. I got tired of this. It does work, it's just a little tricky to hit it, so we're just going to do multiple ones. Let me finish that. There we go. Okay, so what I've done here basically now, while that guy's rolling around, I just made 3 separate tunneling projects. This one, and this one. And that's just to get rid of the roof in here. Let's have a look from a little bit less visually obstructed perspective. There we go. Okay, so there, approximately, we go. Alright, so now When this is starting to disappear, I can actually start building again, because now they can reach it. Basically what I'm going to do now, all the way up, is go like this, with stairs in between. The controls in this game so this here is the general idea, and we're going to do this for a little while. Finally we get to sort of a corner. We need this corner in this particular case because the angle of our tunnel in regards to this island here doesn't really match. So we're building ourselves out a little bit over this island here. There's a huge advantage here to using a 3 wide stairs, by the way, so that you can actually have a corner here and extend it so you can actually walk up here. It does work as well if you have to place the stairs like here, or yeah, here sort of. It just looks better like this. Okay, now the trick. The whole point of doing this is to get access to this island that we otherwise wouldn't have access to. As far as I know, you can use catapults, probably in the finished version of the game, but not in this one, and shoot the bricktrons over. We can't do that though, so what we're going to do is we're going to do like this, and basically a structure like this. And what this is going to do eventually is that when it's finished, we can place a couple of bricktrons up on this block, remove this block will fall down, and so will the bricktrons, and they don't take fall damage, and they will land on this island. The most important thing when you place a couple of guys up here is that they are not part of your construction crew, basically, of the group that has doing the construction. I took 2 now that is from my available group. They're doing nothing. So that when I now go here and go to my construction, choose here, and I say that this block is going to be destroyed, they will not do it, because if they were doing it, it would mess up. They would go down here and so on. Here comes the destroyers, and down they go. And actually it failed. Well, okay. The principle is correct. I should have built slightly more to this direction so that they wouldn't land on this hill here. A couple more blocks this way and it would have worked. And then what you do once they are down here, you could probably build a slightly bigger platform to chop off so that you can get more bricktrons on it, because you want a few of them to start mining down here and building the bridge up from this side, and that's basically how we get to another island. I would have liked to have showed you that, but the video is going too long already. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope that clarified a few things for you. I'll see you around for some more videos. Take care. Bye bye.